Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. It is a windy day here in New Hampshire, but I'm working on a video, so I'm kind of like in this safe spot at the back of my car. I want to talk to you today about this flashlight. This is the Nitecore MH12GTS. MH12GTS. So as you can see, it's definitely a full-sized light. Some people would say it's too big for EDC. For me, it fits into an EDC category. It's not a compact EDC. It's definitely a larger EDC for most people. But this could still go into a pocket for me. I don't need an additional sheath if I was going to be carrying this thing. So it's going to give you almost 2,000 lumens at the highest setting, and we'll talk through some of the details here, and then I'll show you some night footage, and then we'll wrap up talking about this light. All right, let's talk about what you get with the light. Obviously, you're going to get the actual flashlight. It does come with an 18650 battery, which is right here, 3,500 milliamps. Again, if you know me, you know I like 18650 batteries. They're not the only ones I'll use, but I prefer this type of battery over your standard AA, AAA in general. It does also come with a tactical ring, which goes right there. I honestly don't find it very helpful. It just was kind of clumsy. When you try to hold it normally like this, it gets in your way. If you do want to hold it like this, the tactical ring is helpful, but for most people, for myself, I think most people are going to find, yeah, I just don't need a tactical ring. So I took that off. It does come with a pocket clip. It doesn't have the pocket clip attached when you get it, so you're going to have to put that on yourself. A couple other things. It does come with a very nice little holster sheath. And this slides in, and then, I mean, it fits in nicely. Sometimes you get a sheath and it's just like a generic sheath that they seem to throw in with a flashlight. This one seems to actually fit. It's got a D-ring there, and then there is enough room to kind of squeeze your USB in the side if you want to. Speaking of that, it is USB rechargeable. It does have that little included Nitecore Velcro loop there, which is cool. Standard micro USB, comes with a lanyard, which I don't ever use, but you can obviously if you want to. And then it has the Nitecore instructions as well. Let's talk about batteries here, 18650 or also CR123s or rechargeable CR123s. Now you're not going to get that highest output of 1800 lumens when you use your CR or RCR 123s, so I get all the terminology right. But you know, if you're going to get the 18650 with it, you might as well just use that. But you can swap out batteries in case this battery dies out and you need another battery as well. So just want to let you know about that. Let's talk about some of the features here. There's your little USB port for charging it up. And then you've got your end pressure switch to turn it on. Let me see if I can actually, I gotta crank this down the whole way. It wasn't totally cranked down. So end pressure switch to turn it on, and then you have your selector switch over here. Now they've got a bunch of kind of like additional bells and whistles when it comes to, for example, if you want to go onto the ultra low mode, you can hold the selector switch and press the end pressure switch, and then it's going to come on at ultra low. So that's on. I don't know if you can see that, but it's definitely on. That just seems clumsy to do that. I think most people are just going to be using that end pressure switch. So let me just tell you about that. Let me cycle all the way to the bottom here. So you got 1 lumen, and then it goes up to 70 lumens, 240, 900, 1800. Now if you double tap, it's going to go to strobe, and then while it's in strobe, if you hold down, it's going to go to beacon, and then hold down again, it's going to go to SOS. So strobe warning here, and then hold down, it's going to go to your beacon option, which I love to have a beacon option on a flashlight. And then hold down here again, it's going to go to your SOS feature, and we'll show you these at the nighttime anyhow. But and then if you hold it down again, it's going to go back to your strobe, and then tap it and it'll go back to your regular setting. So end pressure switch and then selector switch. I was messing with it last night. I feel like when I was messing with it yesterday and getting some of the nighttime footage, it looked like you could press the end pressure or the side switch to actually turn it on, but I must have just been still learning the features and the functions. So it's drop resistant to 1 meter, IPX8 rated, so good down to 2 meters. And yeah, I mean, so that's the quick rundown of it. I'll roll in the details as far as the weight with a battery and also the size down here at the bottom. Weight without a battery sometimes it's helpful, but most people are using a battery with their light, right? So that's the only way it's gonna work. So I always try to put the weight with the battery in, unless there's a reason to not do so. So yeah, so this is made to be, according to the details, it says ultra compact dual fuel searchlight. So maximum output of 1800 lumens, USB charging, and blue power indicator. Okay, so when you press the button, it's gonna flash. Now watch this. All right, so it's gonna flash 3 times. That's giving you a power level indication. So let me read you the details here right out of the information and the instruction manual. So it says this: when you press it and it flashes 3 times Flashing 3 times indicates the power is above 50%. Flashing twice, it's below 50%. Flashing once, the power is below 10%. Then it says, when the light is on and the level is close to 50%, the power indicator will flash every 2 seconds to inform the user. When the light is on and the power is close to depleted, the power indicator will flash quickly and continuously to inform user. So it's flashing a lot, that means your battery is basically about to die. No magnet on the end, but you do have these 2 little, basically, fins there, so it can tail stand, which is nice if you need to have some light. I think that's pretty much enough information as far as the basic rundown on the light. Now let's get some night footage here and show that to you. Here's a quick test inside my kitchen, just to show you what it looks like inside. Here's 1 lumen. So you could definitely see on camera, but I could certainly operate here in the kitchen just fine with this amount of light. Let's go up to the next one. That's 70 lumens. Obviously that's a ton of light. Let's go up to 240, 900, and then 1800. Okay, we're outside now. A little bit of rain, maybe some light snow starting to fall here. We're looking at my shed, which is about 50 feet away. Let's go through the different settings. Here's 1 lumen. You can pick up a little reflection on the window there. Let's go up to the next one. That's 70. So I can see probably 2/3 of the yard at this point. Let's go up to 240. There's 240, let's go to 900. So because this thing is made to be a thrower, it's definitely giving me a decent amount of spill out from that center beam, which is hotter, but I wouldn't say it's like extremely hot. But it's definitely not a floodlight. I still can't see the entire yard at this point at 900. Let's go to 1800. And even with that, still it really doesn't change the amount of it being a floodlight. It's definitely built to be a thrower with that smooth reflector. So now we're going to go to strobe and beacon and SOS. So strobe warning. Here's the beacon. So strobe warning. Here comes beacon. And here comes SOS. I will say real quick here, like looking up into the tree, this is 900 lumens, but every once in a while I'm out in the woods and, something scampers up a tree, a porcupine, a raccoon or something like that. I mean, there's nothing hiding in any of these trees with this light that I've got. Let me put it up to 1800. Doesn't seem like a huge bump between the 900 and the 1800, but it's definitely throwing light. And there's nothing that's going to be hiding in the woods for me with this light. As far as like up in these trees, I can see actually quite deep into the woods as well. All right, we're doing kind of a classic test here. I'm on my side yard looking back into the woods. We've got the extremely low firefly setting. You really can't see anything. Let's go up to 70 lumens. I can see just beyond the shed at this point, not super well. Let's go up to 240. So a little bit better, even on camera there. I can't see maybe 20 feet beyond the shed at this point. Let's go up to the 900. Definitely getting better. Definitely could see deeper into the woods now. And then the 18. Okay, so I'm back in the woods now. Here's 70 lumens. Go up to 240. I mean, I could see back into the woods. If there was something back there, I'd see their eyes gleaming back at me. But just because it's a little bit thick, I can't see super well. Let's go to the 900. All right, here's 900. Just looking around. And then 1800. I mean, this thing is definitely built to be a thrower. And actually, when I'm looking back into the woods, it's got a decent. It's definitely not a floodlight. It's absolutely not built to be that. But it's not just one burning hot center. I've got some other Nitecore lights that definitely have a hotter center than this. This is giving you a much more balanced beam coming out. All right, one quick test here, shining it up toward the bedroom window. Actually, we'll do the attic window up top. Let's do that. So let's see, there's 70. 240, 900, 1800. Definitely reflecting nicely off the house. I gave you that initial information on the light, and then also you saw the nighttime footage actually from yesterday. I've had a chance to mess around with this a bit. Couple things immediately, like I said, for some people, as far as an EDC light, it's going to be too big. It does have a nice holster, so if you don't mind wearing a holster on your hip, some people call it a sheath holster, whatever you call it, the carrying thing for the flashlight. If you don't mind carrying one of those, it's actually a pretty nice one, and you can carry the light in that. So that's a plus. 1800 lumens of output, that's good. The beam, I do like the beam a lot. It doesn't have a burning hot center. I have another Nitecore that I've used, that I used to use for my car light, but it was such a hot center that it didn't give me any flood from there. So I like the balance of the beam. I think that's definitely a win. It's a little thing, but I like the fact that it comes with that little the USB cord that has the Velcro built in. I think that's cool. The fact that it's USB rechargeable, it's not proprietary. It's kind of 50-50 for me. I don't mind proprietary, but USB is, in case I lose the cord and I've got an extra one around, now I can charge this thing up. So that's definitely a win. And this thing is definitely designed to be a thrower, so it's going to get some good distance. I'm looking at the instruction manual here. Ultra compact dual fuel searchlight. I would definitely call it a searchlight. It's not built to be a flood, but it has decent flood considering the size of it. With that smooth bezel there, or I'm sorry, that smooth reflector there, it's going to definitely be throwing light well. So those are some of the upsides. Let's talk about some of the downsides. Tactical ring, I could do without. That's why I took it off. It doesn't hurt the function of anything, and it's got a nice O-ring in there, so it's not like water's going to get in because I took the ring off. The USB port, I'm not a fan of it being there because when I go to access it, I bump it with my thumb. It's not a make or break thing for me, but I'd prefer they just put it on the side. If they put it somewhere up here, that would be great. Sometimes people put it up here, you know, toward the bezel of the flashlight. That'd be great as well. But it doesn't lock in that well, honestly. It's like okay if your hand's not on it, but if you bump it, that thing will come undone, and then it's gonna, you know, like your thumb is getting caught up on it. It's just weird. So in the future, Nitecore, I would take that USB port, which I like the concept of USB, obviously, but move it to a different space. This just is not, it's not great for me. Okay, at the time of this video, which is the end of March 2019, the price point for this is right at $100, so $99.95, I think, on Amazon. What I'm gonna do with this light is I think I'm gonna swipe out, I think it's the ThruNite, it's like the TH or TC12 V2. It's like about this size flashlight. I'm gonna swap that out of my wife's minivan and put this one in instead because it is nice as both the Searchlight and then it goes all the way down to that low lumen output as well. You know, a question to always consider when it comes to flashlights is lumen output and what do you need, right? So if you're like, I need 700 lumens for the most lumen output, then why would you pay for 2,500 lumens? So you gotta figure that out and see what the difference is, and then obviously the function of the light. This thing is definitely built to be a thrower. It's got some decent spill off that center beam, so sort of it's got a little bit of that flood feature as well. But yeah, that's something that you as the user, you gotta figure out. Like if it's going to be a light that you need like with a hot center as a spotlight, then this one actually is more balanced than I think you'd want. You've got some other Nitecore options that are probably better. If you want something that is more balanced, around 2,000 lumens, USB rechargeable, 18650 battery, and also CR123s or rechargeable CR123s. This one gives you a bunch of different options. I just like the overall size of it for a light, like an emergency light. This one for me, like I said, it's okay for EDC. The one thing I'll say is that because of where the pocket clip rests, I mean, you have that much sticking out, which is, it's a little bit more than I would want. Maybe put it halfway up here and that'd be okay. I will tell you though that when it rests in your pocket, because of that, it's definitely easy to grab a hold of and access the light. So again, Nitecore MH12GTS. Let's hear your thoughts on it in the comment section below. If you own one, let's definitely hear your thoughts and what you think about the light having used it. All right guys, kind of a random spot for a review, but we'll just mix it up a little bit today, right? So thanks as always for checking out the videos. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.